All boxing enthusiasts will know that Mike Tyson was a true beast inside the ring. However, there were contenders in his time who also seemed eager to snatch his wild kingdom away. Among them, Bob Sapp stood out, a highly famous fighter, especially in Japan, where he amassed a significant portion of his fortune. He is an expert in mixed martial arts, kickboxing, and professional wrestling. Discover below why the audience wanted a fight between a mixed martial artist and a former boxing champion. We know that our audience is mostly informed about boxing matches and may not know much about Sapp. That's why we will recount a bit of his career. Bob Sapp is a former professional American football player turned mixed martial artist. He is known for his imposing size and strength, earning him the reputation of being one of the most intimidating fighters in the history of this sport. In this essay, we will explore some of Sapp's most memorable fights, analyzing his strengths and weaknesses, and the techniques and strategies he used to overcome his opponents. Bob Sapp's fight against Ernesto Hoost is one of the most iconic battles in kickboxing history. Sapp, who was much larger and stronger than Hoost, used his size and power to dominate the early rounds. However, Hoost, a veteran with excellent technique and experience, refused to give up and began to stage a comeback in the later rounds. The fight was a classic example of the clash between power and technique, with both fighters delivering devastating blows and showing incredible resilience. Bob Sapp's fight against Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira was a classic matchup between a striker and a grappler. Sapp, known for his attacking and defending skills against takedowns, faced Nogueira, an expert in grip and submission techniques. The fight was a closely contested affair, with both fighters showcasing their skills and testing each other's capabilities. In the end, Nogueira secured a victory by submission, but Sapp's performance earned him the respect of both fans and fellow fighters. However, on our channel, we have many of Mike Tyson's best fights, his highlights, and results in his worst moments. Would such an experienced beast like Bob Sapp be capable? Bob Sapp's fights were a testament to his incredible physical abilities and his willingness to take on all challengers. His battles against Hoost, Nogueira, and Tamura showcased his strengths and weaknesses and demonstrated the importance of strategy and technique in combat sports. After Mike Tyson's successful career, many were looking for a possible contender to destroy him or at least bring him out of retirement for an exhibition match. The most talked about contender was Bob Sapp, whom many defended and saw as capable of defeating Tyson if given the chance. But it was all debates and discussions within the boxing and kickboxing community until Bob Sapp publicly expressed his desire to fight Mike Tyson in the ring after defeating Kimo Leopoldo on August 15, 2003. The entire community went into a frenzy. Many people expressed how excellent it would be to see this clash of titans, beast against beast, both in a ring and showing everything they could do. However, for some, it seemed crazy, as Mike Tyson was on the verge of retirement according to many, and his decline, both physically and mentally, was evident. So, a significant part of the boxing community knew that Mike Tyson would not accept, but it should be considered that he likes challenges. Therefore, there was a minimal possibility that the boxing champion would accept this fight. In an interview, Mike Tyson mentioned that he learned about the event through his brother-in-law, and it initially made quite an impression on him. He had always expected an exhibition match against another boxer in his category, but never from a martial artist. Tyson's first question was, "Really?" And shortly after, he said, "What are the chances it would be in boxing?" This indicates that Tyson was indeed considering the fight in the near future. It seemed like the exhibition match was in talks, but they couldn't reach a formal agreement due to various issues, including the location, the format or discipline in which it would take place, and perhaps financial problems on both sides. Gradually, the news reached the right ears, and the pressure from the public was so much that the fight could become a reality very soon. The possibility of the fight made it to the news, suggesting that it was very likely to take place in 2003 or 2004. However, it never materialized. The first negative news came from Mike Tyson, stating that they couldn't reach an agreement that satisfied both parties or the organizers. But he kept the fire burning in case the proposal improved. He mentioned in an MMA interview, "What do you guys think if I'm in the ring against Sapp?" And quickly the debate was sparked on radio, television, and even nowadays on social media. "Mike, you and I and two of my best fighters against two of your best fighters." Mike Tyson accepted an exhibition match in 2020 against Roy Jones Jr., a good enough reason for people and Bob Sapp himself to stir the pot again. "Mike, now that you've stopped running, listen to me for a second. You and I and two of my best fighters against two of your best fighters. That's my challenge. Fight me or fight my team," said Bob Sapp in a recent interview. But it hasn't led to anything, as Mike insists that at some point, the fight against Sapp would have been a reality, but the organizers changed the plans too much, and the proposal didn't appeal to him. So, we cannot attribute it entirely to fear on the part of the contenders. They simply couldn't reach an agreement with the organizers or didn't agree on the discipline for a fistfight. One of the most popular questions around boxing from the past era would be this one, as many are in favor of Tyson, others in favor of Sapp. Simulations of the fight have even been made in video games and with artificial intelligence, considering their physical characteristics and combat experience. It's one of the easiest ways to imagine a fight between two fighters and has been used for a long time to attract even more attention and generate controversy. For us, if Mike Tyson had accepted the fight in a boxing ring or, more precisely, in the boxing discipline, he would have completely dominated. According to the numbers, Bob Sapp has not had good results in boxing, but he has in other disciplines, such as professional wrestling. Nevertheless, it would have been a highly anticipated fight if it were in kickboxing, being the most voted option so that both fighters would be comfortable in their fighting style. Similarly, in this discipline, we vote that Tyson would have won because in 2003, he was still in shape for an exhibition match and would have prepared for a fight against this formidable beast. Don't get us wrong, it would have been challenging to beat Sapp, but in our opinion, Tyson is more formidable in the ring than Bob Sapp according to the numbers. Unless Sapp had pulled off a surprise like Kevin McBride. For further examples, we have the case of Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, where the latter could never adapt to fighting a boxer, considering his physical build, and was clearly defeated, although not knocked out. With all this, leave us in the comments what you think the result of the fight would have been, Tyson or Sapp, and why. We'll read your thoughts.